my name is Lydia. Welcome to my own little corner. This past month, I thought it would be fun to do a 31-day slow living challenge. I decided to do this because I wanted to make sure I was spending a little time each day living intentionally. The first day's challenge was a 10-minute declutter. I started by going through my dresser and closet and got rid of the clothes I didn't want anymore. And then I just went through my makeup and got rid of anything I didn't want or use. It felt nice to get rid of some things I no longer needed. The second day's challenge was to do 20 minutes of yoga. I started out by pouring myself some lime water. This was a really fun challenge for me. I loved getting to stretch and move in the morning. The third challenge was no social media. It was a bit of a difficult one, but it was also one of my favorites, and it allowed me to get some extra reading time in, which I loved. On the fourth day, my challenge was to collect one garbage bag full of junk. So I got rid of things like mismatched socks and lots of paper clutter. Day 5's challenge was to make today a you day. So I made some time for self-care. I decided to make a yummy mocktail and put on a seaweed face mask. The sixth challenge was to clear my workspace. I decided to clean out this area that I like to keep my pretty dishes and decorations in. It felt so good to get it organized. Day 7 was to spend time in nature. This made me very happy because I always love to spend time in nature and find that when I do, it helps with my mental health and makes me feel less anxious. Today, I went for a short walk and enjoyed my beautiful surroundings. The 8th day was to simplify with a morning routine. I thought this would be a great opportunity to help me be more productive in the morning. I started my day with my Bible and my matcha. After that, I made my bed, did yoga, and ate breakfast. Challenge number 9 was to properly unwind before bed. So I decided to make myself a cup of tea and get cozy with one of my favorite books. The 10th day was to read motivating material. I decided to read a blog on decluttering and minimalism. I found this to be quite motivating. Day 11 was to get some physical activity in. For this challenge, I took a simple walk and soaked in all the nature I could. The 12th day was meditating. For this day, I decided to spend time in nature and write in my scripture journal. Day 13 was no TV, so I decided to play a board game in the evening instead of watching television. Day 14 was to make a budget, so I sat down with a cozy cup of cocoa and grabbed my laptop and got started. The 15th challenge was to read, which I loved, so I went outside and read some of Persuasion by Jane Austen, one of my all-time favorite books. The 16th day was to downsize or reduce, so I looked around for items I no longer used and donated them. Day 17 was to make your home a sanctuary. I really enjoyed this challenge. I bought flowers for my bedroom and lit one of my favorite candles. It wasn't a hard thing to do, but it made me really happy. Day 18 was to gather with a smaller group. This was another really enjoyable one for me. My family and I, as well as my grandparents, got together and had a wonderful little cookout. Day 19 was to take a micro vacation. We already had a small trip to Mackinac Island planned. I really enjoyed this. Everything was so beautiful and I was able to relax and enjoy the moment. Today's challenge was no news. I'm not someone who spends a lot of time looking at the news, but I do usually like to look at a few fun articles when I turn on my phone. So I found I had a bit of extra time and I spent that time coloring. The 21st challenge was to leave earlier for work. On this day, I was working in the office for a family business, so I started walking a bit earlier than I usually would. It was really nice to be able to look around and take my time. Day 22 was a bedroom freshen up. I started by making sure my bedroom was picked up, and after that, I vacuumed. I made sure to slow down and really enjoyed getting my room all tidy. The 23rd day was junk mail and email organization. I didn't have a lot of junk mail around, so I focused more on my email. This actually felt really good to get done, and I was glad that I did it. The 24th challenge was to do some self-reflection. I wasn't really sure what angle to take on this, so I mostly just journaled and spent some time thinking. Day 25 was to get some plants. For this one, I ended up getting some flowers for my garden. It was really fun to go into the garden shops and look at all the pretty flowers. Today's challenge was to embrace gratitude. For this, I sat down and made a list of some things I am thankful for. I think it is so important to focus on gratitude. Day 27 was to spend time with a friend. This day was very fun for me. My mom and I got Starbucks drinks and had a fun time chatting at the beach. The 28th day was to make a bucket list. I actually decided to make a summer bucket list. I had a great time coming up with these ideas and look forward to doing these things. Day 29 was to donate or volunteer. I decided to put some shelf-stable food items in this little box for people who need them. The 30th challenge was to embrace alone time. For this, I decided to take a warm bubble bath. It was such a relaxing way to spend some alone time. The final challenge was to create a schedule. I already kind of have a schedule, but I decided to write it down, change it up, and make it a little more official. I had so much fun doing this challenge. I really enjoyed doing things I don't normally make time for. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you come back next time.